great. We are here at the one and only amazingly talented 11-year-old girl, B. B, can you once again say hi to the audience?
Hi.
Yeah, you've already seen her on One Extra Talk, an episode with Đáng,
Yeah.
about 2 years ago.
It's like the sham art. They only have one color to choose from. And it's still like you can actually see it 2 years ago.
He also came to your house and had an interview, and we did the same thing this year. Okay, so this is the first time I've met you, and I've seen your video on YouTube. I'm really impressed. How has your life been different so far?
First off, I'm a lot taller.
Yeah?
Which is a lot more common. And second, now I have a little baby brother who is who is 1.5, and he's basically really cute. And also my life has changed a lot.
You were talking about school life. How has your school life changed?
Well, it hasn't changed yet, but it will this year, because this year I'm going into secondary. And it's going to be really interesting, because secondary is always a, let's just say, more interesting place. We learn a lot more things, and we also have a lot more limitations, but then those don't really matter, because in secondary you get to learn more and you do more things.
Yeah, it's a transition, right, into a more interesting place and environment. What would you learn when you go to secondary school?
First off, we'll be doing drama instead of music.
Drama?
Yeah.
So you learned music when you were younger?
Yeah. And now we're doing drama. And then we also do a lot more precise classes, such as history, geography, I think science, and other stuff that I haven't been aware. Oh yeah, and TLCS, technology, language, something.
TLCS. Science?
Science.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or communication science, or something like that.
That's a lot for secondary school students.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite subjects?
Well, I'd say if I would be in secondary, then my favorite subjects would probably be science and maybe French.
French?
Yeah.
You like French?
Yeah, I love French.
How long have you been learning French?
1 year.
1 year. What do you like about French?
It's a very universal language. So they speak French in most countries, countries that speak English, but also French. And then also French is also somehow, I just feel, a lot more sophisticated than some English that you would use every day.
Bonjour.
Yeah, and other things that are... Most things in French sound a lot more sophisticated and eloquent than things that in English, because in English, most of the times it sounds like you're chatting with a friend.
And it's kind of more romantic as well.
Yeah.
For me. So, talking about school, I want to know what type of student are you? I mean, you like to learn things with pictures, visualize things, or you prefer literature? Yeah.
I'm more of the words / well, I'm more of a visual learner, but also like a visual learner, not as in pictures and videos, but more as in books and how-tos and yeah.
I remembered watching the video about you, and you told Đáng that you like to imagine things and becoming a director. So do you still have an interest in being a director, or?
Quite close to being a director, but not really, because if I choose to pursue this career, then it'll be a lot wider than being a director, because when you're a director, you have to do a lot of things, and you're limited by the things that screens can portray. As in, like, you can't just in most movies, you can't just show that a character's thinking something, other than if you put a voiceover in, and that's not very interesting because then you can't really see stuff, and then it's just very confusing when you try and portray thoughts. But then when you write, which is what I want to be,
a writer,
you can do a lot more things, and you can get it you can get it in with a lot more details, and also. Most people in the world can write, while some don't enjoy watching movies.
So now you prefer writing. You want to be a writer.
Yeah.
I feel like you have a best combination. When you like writing, you like visual things, and you like science.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So you like writing, and you enjoy reading books as well.
Yeah.
What type of books do you enjoy reading?
I prefer fantasy or science fiction.
Science fiction.
But then sometimes, if it's interesting, then I would also enjoy books, non-fiction books, such as I had like guidebooks and also like dictionaries and thesaurus and.
You like dictionaries?
I like dictionaries. Everybody likes dictionaries.
Like, you just use dictionaries when you want to look up a word, or you just read it?
I just read it. It's fun. You learn so many words.
And you learn by heart?
No, I just read it for fun. And then I find out new words.
That's cool. I think I would take up this hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, there is a phrase I'm really interested in is that a book pausant. Is when you always carry a book by your side. Is that perfect word to describe you?
Well, it used to be. Nowadays, I'm more into knitting than books. I used to be a book lover. I'm still a book lover, but I think my book days have passed a little bit. I mean, I still read a lot, but I don't find. I've just read so many books that I find flaws in them, and I find that they're not as interesting as they used to be anymore because they're basically like a book, and you change it, and to make a new book.
That's right. You see the mistakes in a book,
and
you want to rectify it, and you want to become a writer. That's how it all comes
from, right? Not really, but I find flaws in books, and I get super frustrated because I can't do anything because it's already published. And it's probably more than 200,000 books have been published. But then I find it really annoying that some things are wrong, even though they've probably been checked by an editor. And then that editor probably finds it okay, or maybe have skipped through that part and missed it. But I just find it really annoying.
That's a matter of critical thinking at your age. Super impressive. So I really want to know more about you. Are there any funny stories that your family talk about you that you want to tell me?
There's not a lot of funny stories about me, but then let me think.
So before you think about that question, I'm going to ask about your perfect day. How would be your perfect day on a daily basis?
My perfect day would be a day when I would get up and have maybe around 7, 8 or 8, and wake up, get dressed, brush my teeth, and maybe go downstairs and have a nice cup of coffee or tea.
You drink coffee?
I get a little bit less coffee than what my parents would get, but then I get coffee. Yeah.
How long have you been drinking coffee?
But better, maybe a year.
A year. It makes you. It helps you being awake.
Yeah. Well, no, it doesn't really help me being awake, but then it helps me trigger my awake button.
I know.
Kind of.
And I know that you've also been doing some kind of gymnastic yoga.
Yeah.
That's right?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing
Well,
yoga?
I've been on and off doing it for about 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
When you was just about 9 years old?
Yeah.
What did that interest in yoga come from?
No, I'm not very interested. I mean, I am interested in yoga because that is part of gymnastics, but then I prefer gymnastics over yoga. But then I just sparked an interest in it because it was super amazing on how you can just strike weird poses and scare people with it.
Could you do this split?
Yeah, I can do the split.
Yeah, could you show me?
Yeah.
That's such an amazing pose. I mean, it works your abs, obliques, and spine.
And it works your back leg.
Back leg.
And it works with your back.
It's like
so it works with a lot of different things. You need a lot of different things to do it. You actually need, I think, 3 or 4 things. So you need stability, balance, back flexibility, and leg flexibility. Wait, no, 5 things. And shoulder flexibility.
everything has to do with flexibility.
And strength and balance.
Oh, I often do Pilates, but I think this is much more better than Pilates.
Well, Pilates would help you with this. Well, it would a lot, but then it's 2 different things, and Pilates would help mostly with the abs and
The abs.
like the core part.
Yeah, the core strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would consider doing this kind of gymnastic yoga. Anyway, what is this by your side?
It's my bullet journal.
Bullet journal?
Yeah.
It's like you are good at mood tracking?
I use it to. So a bullet journal was developed by Ryder Carroll. I think in early 2006.
Early
if I remember
2006?
correctly, or 2011, one of those 2. And it basically is a diary, a planner, and a sketchbook, all in one.
All in one. Can you show me?
Yeah. So I started this today because I was.
Yeah. Can you show this so that audience
So
can
this
see?
is my cover page. And then my key and my year at a glance. So that's
calendar.
calendar, year at a glance, and the key. I prefer going for the minimalistic look because I haven't I'm not that good at it yet. So I'm not very. So I can't. I don't want to do super fancy stuff yet.
Yeah. This is all of your drawing work?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then this is my July calendar.
July. And then you will check it out if you have a lot of happy days in July or not.
And then, so I started this today, early this morning / yesterday night. So this is really, really basic. This is my gymnastics. Did I do my gymnastics today? Symbol. And this is my get enough sleep symbol. This is my drink enough water symbol.
Okay.
And then that's my habit tracker. I think I want to add a lot more other things that I haven't thought of them yet. And
Learn something?
Yeah. And then this is my mood tracker.
Can I see it? Mood tracker.
I'm going to color the colors according to these. I did it in a hurry because I wanted to move on to August.
Okay, so we will move on to August.
And then that's a quote because I like having positive quotes put in to fill in the gaps.
To inspire you.
In front of me. And so this is my August cover page, which is a lot better organized.
Yeah.
It's
colorful.
Yeah, it's a galaxy, and then with August on top.
It's a galaxy.
It's a galaxy.
You're such an imaginative person.
And then this is my mood tracker.
Mood tracker. I see. So the red would be super sad, depressed.
Sad, angry, something.
Yeah.
And then this is my. I'm not in a very good mood today. And this is my. I'm okay.
Fine.
And then this is my happy, but like not too happy, but like okay.
Fine, just normal.
I'm chilling face. And then this is my I'm pretty happy today face. And then this is my I'm super happy.
You were on cloud 9. So let me see, how has your days been so far?
Today's been good actually. I drank coffee this morning, and I worked in my bullet journal this morning, and I did my stretches, and I did yoga with Johnny. We did baby yoga, so it's like it's basically a bent candlestick, and then with a baby on your legs. So it's like the game Airplane for the babies, where they lie on your leg and you hold their hands and you lie on your back.
You do it with your younger brother?
Yeah, it's fun.
So he's doing yoga with you?
Yeah, he does yoga with me. And I also helped him do a headstand.
Headstand?
Yeah.
For a year-old kid?
Yeah, it's quite fun actually. He's very strong.
Really?
It's mostly my muscles.
Sure, and it could help you improve your own muscle as well.
Yeah.
So how would you rate your day?
I think right now I would rate it as maybe blue or purple.
Blue or purple?
Because I've had a quite a lovely day.
That's great.
It depends really. I feel like I might have had. I feel like in August I might have some maybe depressed or stressed days because I'm going to start school soon, and then I'm sure that homework will make me a little bit grumpy sometimes when when John annoys me.
So what would you do when you are under stress?
I would most likely take a shower.
Take a shower? Sure.
And listen to my favorite music.
What is your type of favorite music?
I don't listen to very new songs. I'm afraid I'm quite outdated with today's music. I haven't listened to a 2019 song in literally forever. I only listened to songs that were like my newest song was from 2018.
2018.
But then my favorite song was from 2012.
2012. That is like the big era of US UK, right?
Yeah.
So international music.
International music.
And I know that you are having a part-time job.
Yep.
What is that?
I'm being a waitress at a restaurant.
Waitress. Can you tell me how could you get into your line of work?
Well, I loved the restaurant. It was one of my go-to restaurants. And then one day, the owner was there, and she said to me, if you're interested, maybe you can come and have a test out day here.
Really?
Yeah, so I've been working there for about a week.
What would you have to do?
Well, I clean the tables. And well, I do what most waitresses would do. It's just I'm just one of their other waitresses, but like who doesn't work as much because her muscles aren't strong enough. Waitresses.
So you have to. Do you have to learn through all of menus? What do they have?
Yeah, but I don't really have to learn like that. But then I have to learn what their special on dish of the day is, what they have and what they don't have, how to speak to customers, and what time to take it and take their dishes and bring them and prepare their bowls and stuff.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Do you have to talk to a lot of international guests?
Yeah, I talked to a lot of international guests there, and my boss said that the other day one of the guests, the big group there, said that they wanted to take me to America with them.
Really?
Yeah.
So what did you say?
Nice.
I was just nice, like a normal waitress, like a good waitress should be.
Yeah. So what is the greatest lesson that you've learned from your job so far?
Maybe the fact that I should listen and be able to learn things, and to be gentle and not try and carry too much weight on your shoulders or arms.
I think you're doing a really great job now because you're already gentle enough, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
And so far it's going really well for you.
Yeah, it's great. We actually had an addition of another waitress to come, a test waitress to come and work. She's younger than me.
Younger than you?
Which is really nice because then we can actually talk. So she's not Vietnamese, so she can't actually understand. She can't write the orders down, but she can still do things that normally other people like me or the other waitresses could do.
So you're gonna have a more international friend.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. Okay, so you know the concept of IELTS FACE-OFF is that reach further.
Yeah.
So it's a really great time for us to talk about this concept. So I really want to know, what countries have you been to? Because I know you're really avid traveler.
Yeah, I haven't been to many countries because we've been so busy with Johnny. And then before that, I wasn't traveling a lot. So I've been to 3 countries. Actually.
3 countries. What are those?
Vietnam.
What are those?
I've been to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Thailand.
Thailand.
And Siem Reap. So Cambodia.
Cambodia.
Yeah.
So it's near. What country is your favorite one?
I think that I would like to say that I love Thailand the most out of the 3 because I stayed there for 1 month when my brother was born.
1 month?
Yeah. So I got used to it. I did so my teacher sent me files of working stuff to do while I was there.
So that's great. Do you learn any Thai language?
I learned a bit. I learned like 2 sentences.
What are they?
Khap khun ma kha.
Khop khun ma kha is thank you, right?
Yeah. And
yeah, something like khop khun kha.
And sabai.
Sabai. What is that sabai?
Go slowly, because when we had Johnny, we had him in a car seat, but then sometimes the drivers would go too quickly, so we had to ask them to go slowly.
And sabai, it's like that. But you've never ever been to an English-speaking country before?
I've never been to like an officially English-speaking country before.
That's great.
Well, I guess Hong Kong did count, but I was 4 back then, and I didn't actually speak any English.
But how could you get that comment of English? I mean, your English is perfect. This is my first time ever I've met someone at your age with that perfect English. How could you do it? Could you tell us?
Well, I said this in my last IELTS, but it's like a fish who swims in the water. You need to be able to adapt and learn how to speak English because it's an international community.
Yeah.
In Hoi An, we have I think that we have more expats living here than like maybe that actually communicate and have like an entire community over most other countries in Vietnam. Like I feel like in Hanoi and in Saigon and other places, they don't have a community that knows each other as well as we do.
That's great. I mean, I remember you said in last episode was like you don't really being obsessed too much about what you learn in English, but just you learn English.
Yeah, I learn English. I don't try to learn. I just learn. Like in my school, we are encouraged in our English class. We are encouraged to write a book, write a short story every year. And so it's been great for me because then you learn more English. Like even our most beginner English speaker in our class speaks. Writes a small story. Like most of the times, their story would be a lot shorter than my one or my friends would be. But then again, it's still good because they actually wrote it instead of just like learning how to speak English without never actually doing anything that is English.
They have story.
Yeah.
And I think collecting stories are one of the most powerful things that a person can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you write stories in English as well?
Yeah.
So in English much more than in Vietnamese, or also in Vietnamese?
I do a lot more in English because I just prefer it. I don't know why, but I just think that in English it would be able to reach a broader audience.
Yes.
And I want to be an author. So I really think that if my writing right now could be able to reach an audience, like, so I'm writing it on Wattpad right now. So Wattpad's an online writing thing. So like, I'm inspired by the many authors on Wattpad who wrote their stories on there. But then ended up having their stories published as real books and movies.
So, what style of writing do you have?
I mostly write science fiction. I just find that it's the easiest.
Because you like science fiction books.
I love science fiction. So yeah, but I also I don't think I am that good at writing other things because I don't have an imagination for non-fiction or romance or chick lit or something like that.
I think it's just a matter of time. You will read more books and you will have more skills to write.
Yeah.
Have you ever given your draft to your mom and your dad to have a look at it?
I did plenty of times, but most of the times because the book that I'm working on right now, I haven't written a lot. I've only written the prologue, and then I'm working on chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
Yeah, chapter 1, the big chapter.
The most important one as well.
Yeah, the most important one in the entire, maybe not the entire book, but the entire chapter.
I think so, because as a reader, a chapter 1 would be something would trigger my interest in reading the rest of the book or not. So I think you have a really good philosophy in writing a book. So you really want to be an author, and how would you see yourself in 10 years or 5 years? Depends on you.
10 years. I would see myself. In 10 years, I'll be 21. So I think maybe I'll see myself in a university somewhere.
What would it be? Where?
My major would probably be some sort of English. Like, I don't know, maybe historical English or some sort of writing.
Of course, because you want to do in a publishing work and writing stuff.
But maybe I'd also like to study other things, such as maybe philosophy and stuff like that.
I think that will require much more reading and much more critical thinking and research.
But at the moment, I think that when I go into secondary, I'll experience like university life just for like a bit because that's when we actually have exams and stuff. But then I think that it will be very interesting, and I also think that I'll be able to learn and be able to understand a lot more once I've jumped the big path and started taking notes and studying and learning things.
I mean, that is impressive. As you're so young and you have already planned what you're gonna do, what do you really want to do in the future, and what you're gonna study.
Yeah.
And you're following your dreams as well.
I think I am. I think I will.
So, I want to know about the person who has the most influential impact on you and on that thinking and philosophy in life.
This is a very hard question.
That's right, because you met a lot.
The person that I met that would probably have inspired me the most would be maybe well, I haven't met the person that I was inspired by a lot. But I think that it would be two authors.
Two authors.
An author of a book on Wattpad that
Popcorn?
Sorry, an author that on Wattpad that
Wattpad.
had her book published and made into a movie. I don't remember the name of the author, but her book / movie / thing was called The Kissing Booth.
The Kissing Booth.
The Kissing Booth.
The Kissing Booth.
Yeah, me and my friend watched it recently.
Really? What was it about?
It's about this girl. Who it's quite strange, but it's also hard to understand unless you've actually read it. It's about this girl, and she's has a best friend, and they came up with a rule, like I think 10 or 9 rules, that when they were 6 that they had to follow. So one of them was that you are not allowed to date your relatives. I mean, the other person's relatives. And I have no idea why they came up with the thing, but I guess it was the entire plot of the movie.
And it's just you can relate to that story.
No, and then the girl actually falls in love with her best friend's brother, and then because there's this thing called because for fundraising at the school, they came up with this thing called the kissing booth.
That's great.
Yeah,
I mean, you like her style of writing, so that.
Well, I'm not. I just find the fact that I don't necessarily love the style of writing. I mean, I find it interesting and I like the movie, but it's not my style of writing. I'd never write something like that because I just can't imagine myself writing romance fictions.
But you could break out of your comfort zone someday in the future.
I can in the future, but I'm not very interested in that right now because I just find that there's little room for imagination there. I just find that it's like the same story arc. It's this girl in the sky, and then they fall in love, and then something breaks them apart, and then at the end they come back together. It's boring.
It's just a matter of time when you find another kind of books more interesting and you like this plot more than science fiction or non-science fiction you were writing. Yeah. I think it's just a matter of time and experience.
Yeah. But like right now, I find that almost every single romance movie is exactly the same, unless it's like Harry Potter, and that's an entire different thing because Harry Potter is mostly a fantasy book, add a twist of romance.
Oh, you like Harry Potter? I remembered in that last episode.
What else do you like? Do you have any fiction?
Well, I do. I like one that's really fictiony. I really like Harry Potter.
You read all of the series of Harry Potter?
I read all the series.
In English?
In English.
That's great.
Yep. And then I read some of it in Vietnamese. I don't think so. Wait, I did tonight.
But you already understood everything.
I read everything in Vietnamese first, and then I read it in English.
Oh, so you read twice, and you watch movies, and you know it backward and forwards.
Backwards and forwards. And I'm sure that everybody who has watched Harry Potter agrees that the most evil villain in the entire series is Dolores Umbridge.
The Dolores Umbridge?
Umbridge.
I think you really passed on the love of Harry Potter to me. I wasn't really interested in Harry Potter, but I'm now.
Well, I actually did that to my best friends. And they really didn't like Harry Potter. Well, one didn't because they thought that it was boring. But then after years of persuasion and nudging, he finally agreed to watch it. And now we share a Pinterest board dedicated to just Harry Potter memes. And it's hilarious because he came up with hilarious stuff to put in there. Like there's this one about Harry Potter showing George and Fred Muggle movies, and then it was like food fights, and then them standing up in the Great Hall, and then demanding a food fight and dumping food all over everybody, and then after that, like the entire school broke into a giant fight when someone threw a pie at Professor McGonagall. And then they stopped, and then they broke into an even bigger one when they realized that the person who threw it was Umbridge. I mean, not Umbridge. Albus Dumbledore.
Amazing creativity.
Yeah, I mean that person, whoever wrote it, I think it was on Tumblr, but whoever wrote it was like the smartest person ever. I mean, that is like the best thing ever.
And you were attracted by that.
I loved it. These memes of a kind are just the best things ever.
That's great. Like when you love writing, you love being an author, and you have another really bright and funny and caring, bright, sunny side in you. That's so amazing. So I want to ask one more question about the challenge. What would you like to challenge yourself in the future?
I think that in the future, my challenge wouldn't be anything about writing because I already am writing every day, and I already have a challenge for that. But then another thing that I think would be really interesting to have a challenge about is I want to do a gymnastics challenge.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, not really a challenge, but I want to do a pose that I've never done before. So I'm practicing this one right now.
What is that?
It's either it's like the firebird.
Firebird? Like
Yeah.
you could hold your legs up to your head?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So you jump, leap, and then you kick your back leg so that it hits your back, and your arms go back like this.
Oh,
It's adorable.
that's really strenuous.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful and it requires a lot of work
It requires a lot of work.
and time
My
consuming.
foot is like this high right now, and it can be so much higher.
But I think by continuing doing that kind of gymnastic yoga, you will be much taller and healthier in the future.
I've actually grown a lot just by doing it. After 3 days of doing it, I like 3 years of continuously doing it, I think I've grown a lot.
A lot changes, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? It's such a great talk with you. I mean, you inspire me a lot. And I do hope that everything you do and you do not do in the future would come from your confidence. I could already see the confidence in you, so just believe in yourself and maintain that confidence. And I think you would go so much further in the future. But the thing is that the concept of reaching further is not only about how many countries have you been to, but also about what did you learn? What have you been learning on a daily basis? So what is your learning process if we talk about reach further?
My learning process would include taking in the information and writing it down, like taking notes, or just putting it in my brain. It takes a lot of, but to me, my brain goes through an entire process. First, you take it down and you take it in, and you record the information into either your brain or a book or something. But then your brain already knows it. So after that, my brain has to go to a process of thinking about the information for about either from 30 minutes to 2 hours, to the moment when it's fully downloaded into my brain.
And then you completely immersed in that information.
Yeah.
And I think your mom told me that you have a go-to place where you could invent and create and learn a lot of things. What is that place?
It's called the Refillables Hoyan.
The Refillables Hoyan?
Yeah, and I love it because I could just mix and match stuff there, and then it could also be green.
Really? Are you willing to take me there?
Sure.
How do you go there?
I go there on my bicycle. My mom has a bicycle. You can take hers.
Let's ride a bicycle.
Yeah.
Let's go. I cannot believe that Hoi An has such a beautiful and large rice field like this.
Oh, this is one of our smallest fields.
The smallest?
Yeah.
Is there anything
Well,
bigger?
it connects. This is like the smallest area, and then it connects to other areas.
So this is your favorite place?
Yeah.
What do you often do here?
I often go to the Refillables, and then I go to a place near here to get vegetables.
Vegetables?
To make food with.
Organic vegetables, right? For your mom?
For my family.
That is how you go green? You have a go green lifestyle?
Yeah, we have a go green lifestyle.
What do you often do with that lifestyle?
Well, I do everything that normal people would do. I just,
For example?
I go to the refillables.
And buy some organic stuff.
Yeah.
You care a lot about sustainable development.
Yeah, Hoi An is one of the most sustainable towns in Vietnam, actually. We care a lot.
That's right. I mean, going green is such a beautiful lifestyle when you are conscious of environment and you act in a responsible way to the environment.
Yeah.
And one more question that I was about to ask you earlier to end the show was that I know that you are really young, but what is for you the greatest accomplishment so far?
I think the best accomplishment I've ever completed was to be able to actually kickstart and do gymnastics. And before that, I was like, oh, but I could never do such a thing. It's like it looks super hard, and then it's beautiful. It's like one of those super hard things that are super pretty, but then you can't do it.
And you successfully stepped out of your comfort zone by doing so.
Yeah. I also stepped out of my comfort friend zone and made friends with new people.
That's also another accomplishment?
Yeah. Well, I did it because I was doing gymnastics, so I made friends with gymnastics people that I would usually not hang out with.
You benefit a lot from gymnastics.
Yeah.
I love to hear that from you. Anyway, later, could you show me the name of the YouTubers who learn gymnastics?
Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey, B. Say bye to the audience.
Bye.
Bye. And we hope that in the future you would go much further. I think we'll be seeing you again in 2 years.
Yeah, maybe.
And we will check it out.
Or maybe even sooner.
In what?
Or maybe even sooner.
Sooner?
Yeah, maybe.
Sure, definitely. Definitely we will go back to your house.
Yeah.
Okay, and now let's keep writing. I love this stuff.